Hello, family. Hello, hello, hello. I am here to do shadow work sessions. Okay. Tonight's shadow work session is not going to be that long, family. Oh, you know what? I had my thing behind me still. I'm sorry. Let me take that off, family. I was like, I had that's from High Priestess Key when I was doing the readings today. So I'm just waiting on some of y'all to get in the room before I start talking about shadow work sessions. Today we're going to talk about how the moon phases affect us, because it does, you know. Um, so yes, okay. Wait on y'all to come on in the room. Give it about four, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, I know what I could be doing. Let me upload the share my screen. I'm gonna do the entire screen over there because I want to, yeah, so you can be able to see it, okay? When I'm ready for y'all to see that. So I'm gonna go to, hey, Ebony, hey, sis. I'm just, I'm just getting everything together for us to talk about the moon phases, right? And how it affects us. It did. I had a good day today, girl. A very good day. Okay. Yes. Today was an awesome day for me. A lot of things that it's like I told you guys, this 9 year is my year, and I'm claiming it. And I thank the Most High and the ancestors for allowing me to see things already come to fruition, and today went very well. So your girl is soon to be, back doing my thing in reference of working and trying to toggle all kinds of stuff together. So I meant to write you earlier to tell you about my card I pulled this morning, the Magician. I'm excited. Okay, so you know what that means. You got all the resources you need to create whatever it is you would desire. Okay, yes, thank you, sis. Thank you, and congratulations to you as well, especially getting the Magician card. Okay, because that card is definitely about you being a magician within your own life, being the alchemist, right? That we are. Yeah. Yes, literally what you've been telling me. Yes. You see? Yeah. Ancestors don't lie. I'm just a vessel. Okay. That is all, sis. I am just a vessel. And I love that y'all when things like that happen, excuse me, y'all able to come back and tell me, honey. I'd be so happy to hear, you know? So today's shadow work session is for us to just tap in with each other and just come back to our sacred space, right? As you guys know, I have so many shadow work sessions, and I've been going back to my old shadow work session videos, family, and been utilizing them for myself as well. Okay. I'm still on the clock. Okay, sure. That's okay. At least you can listen and hear, and you can always come back and watch it too. But hello, AJ. How are you today, love? Um, so yes, you are. I'm so happy to be on this path with you. Me too. I've been itching to write you. Okay, listen, write me anytime. Okay. Um, so yes, because I'll be wanting to know. Okay. I'll be wanting to know. Okay. So I'm glad that I'm here to help you. And I'm so happy that we're on this path together. That's right. We're working it out. Okay. And I'm gonna just tell you, them morning messages don't be just for y'all, they be for me too. And God is good, family. God is good. If you stay faithful and you stay doing what you're supposed to do, walking in your divine light, the ancestors will walk you right on through. Trust me. Trust me. I have a testimony. Okay. But we'll get to that probably on Thursday Night Insight. Okay. Or either this weekend, I'll probably be on here chit chatting and talking to y'all about my week. Okay. So I ain't going to spoil it since we're doing shadow work sessions. But shadow work sessions today, Hey, Sandy. Shadow work sessions today, family, is on the moon phases, okay, and how they make us feel. The reason why I'm bringing this to you guys because of the different moon phases and how they have affected us in major ways, our emotions, our thoughts. A lot of people don't even think about the moon. They don't even care about the moon. They have no idea that the moon is making them act or react a certain way. They don't think about the moon triggering them into feeling a certain way or to act out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even think about it, family. But as us, as spiritual beings on this spiritual journey, this is the reminder, right? Because a lot of the times it affects the way that we function, okay? And, I just have that to say to you guys. I say, please take and be in tune with your external so your internal will be right. Okay, I always tell you guys that. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys and talk to you, and I'm going to throw up the StreamYard link so you can come up if you want to tonight and talk about how this past full moon made some of you guys feel, because I know it made me feel very emotional, very I did put the StreamYard link up if y'all want to come up and talk and chit chat tonight, because tonight is going to be informal, but I did have something to share with you guys prior to you coming up or me bringing you up as well. But I wanted to definitely share with you this aspect of things, right? This is all about the spiritual meanings of the moon phases and how they make us feel. Well, this is definitely, I hope you can see this, but this is, hey, Fatima. This has all the moon phases and how they affect us, family, right? So the new moon, the waxing crescent, the first quarter, the waxing gibbous, the full moon, the waning gibbous, the last quarter, and the waning um, crescent, right? Or the waxing crescent. I can't really see that too good either. Oh no, that's the waning. Okay. It's pretty small print, right? But the main thing I wanted you guys to understand, that all these different moon phases, right, that we have that happens is all about your emotions or the things that's happened externally, family. And a lot of people don't think about it. Like the new moon here, it says the nights are darker, so we are often more tired. Now, with the new moon, sometimes I don't be as tired, but with the full moons, I be drained. Okay, I think it's because of the energy of that full moon, but also with the new moon, it's all about us setting our intentions. It's about, new beginnings, things coming in, things that we want to happen. A lot of us are eager to do our rituals, to usher in things for ourselves during those new beginnings and those new moons, because things we want of new, right? And so sometimes your emotions may be running high during that time. You may be very active. You may be very, energized, right? And it's a time where you definitely set your intentions ahead of the moon, right, to move into that energy, to be excited about new things to come into your life. And so that's what the new moon does for me. I'm not sure how it goes with you guys, but I feel different ways with each energy that comes in with these moon phases, and I'm sure you guys do too. This just shows the different phases. But here we have this article that I found, and I'm going to talk about the spiritual moon phases that we have against what's online as well. But I do want you guys, since we are now able to toggle and use, hey Miss T, we're able to toggle and use our online tools now. I want you guys to kind of see what they say online to a bunch of different sites, right? Versus how spiritually you feel, right? Because what they say online sometimes is broad, right? But spiritually, we have other definitions to these moon phases and how it can make you feel, right? So, I definitely want you guys to understand that with the new moon is about fresh starts, right? But sometimes the new moon is about, you just really getting started with something, right? And so it may make you feel a little anxious too, right? Because sometimes when you're starting new things, it makes you feel anxious. It makes you feel, like, gosh, I got to get started on this. Or maybe it's something that you've decided to, you want different in your life, right? And so I'm gonna usher this in on the new moon, or, I really desire this, right? And so you set your intentions, and then you're anxious and you can't wait to see what happens, right? So that's also, how does the new moon make you feel? Do you feel that the new moon is really, all that it, some people crack it up to be, right? So these are some of the things that I want us to discuss. I did throw, like I said, the StreamYard link in here. If you guys want to come up, that's cool too. Tonight is just an informal shadow work sessions, but I do want you guys to look at some of these things that are online, because I know a lot of you use the Googler, right? And so you may go to these, although we have learned in my spiritual family the moon phases and what to utilize and so forth. But this is really how it truly makes you feel. That's truly what I wanted to talk about. And I'm going to go through some of them and talk about how it makes me feel. And it won't be that lengthy tonight. But the reason why I did bring this out for us to discuss is because I have been feeling all which ways and noticing my different emotions and thoughts and things like that, and things that actually happen to me around these moon phases, right? And the things that I wanted to bring out to you guys and let you know, your moon phases is all in your wheel of, how your life path is going. See, people don't understand that either. You see? So just like the full moon is so charged up, and like I said earlier, it drains me, especially depending on specific signs that they're in, right? That also plays a big point in the moon phases as well, family. So as an example, with this moon phase that we just had, where it was in Cancer, and it was in I've showed y'all it was in between Gemini and Cancer, and then it moved on into Cancer. Oh, now we are in Capricorn season as well. Okay, I meant to tell you guys that I did have it pulled up as well, so I could show y'all the chart, right? But let me put this on here so y'all can you can see now that we are finally in Capricorn season. We just crossed over to Capricorn season, huh? And sometimes I want to show you guys that, and I want to show you the moon, right? And how the moon moves around, family, right? In these phases. The phases come, right? 28, 30 day cycles, right? And with that moon energy, family, like I said, it changes with it changes with the season, right? It changes with the zodiac. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put this in and talk at the same time, right? Here we go. I got it up, family. Hold on, I'm trying to get it over there so I can show y'all the planetary alignment on this, right? Make sure I got everything on here right. And I can change this too, family. Let me tell you, I've been loving my new little gadget. And playing with the planets, right? Hey, Coffee. Hey, girl. Okay, so I'm gonna share this back with you guys, right? So you see. So this is the planets that we have up again, and I just wanted to show you where going back to Capricorn, right? This is where the sun is, family. See Capricorn? So the sun is there now. The sun finally made it to Capricorn, okay? It finally made it in the Capricorn energy. And we need to look for where the moon is, right? So let's see if I can get the moon. The moon, let me go back around. What did we say the moon was in? Moon is, I haven't looked at where the moon is lately. Hold on, I gotta pan it over, family. So let me see. Actually, let me go in. Okay, there it is. Okay, I found it. Okay, so there's the moon. So the moon is in Cancer. The moon is in Cancer. You see that? Moon is in Cancer. Mm-hmm. The moon is still in Cancer now, so it didn't go far. You see, because it was up here earlier, remember, by the Gemini. Can y'all see that? And now there it is. It's moved around. And look, the sun, I mean, the moon, you see all these things, family? Look at this. You see this planet Hydra. Now, if you're in the spiritual family, you'll remember Miss T talking about Hydra. We have the sextans. We have the Leo Minor. See, these are all stars and stuff and planets out in. See, look at this, family. You see? See? So not only is it just the zodiacs. Yeah, it's just the zodiacs on this wheel, on this axis right here, right? But it's so many other planets out here. You see that? See? So I just can't wait to deep dive with y'all. But listen, all this stuff happening, going on within all of these planets and all of these stars, right? So no wonder we feel the way we do, right? Right? So right now, the moon, right? So the moon is in Cancer. The Cancer moon with this position is very greatly surrounded with people who come you come in touch with, okay? Mainly attached to the home, okay? Also about, the many changes in your life, family, okay? And of course, with the many changes that are happening in your life, it's going to make it feel very, sometimes very uncomfortable, especially with Mars being in Cancer as well. Look at Mars. This is Mars right here. You see that? There go the moon and there go Mars. Well, the moon is moving a little quicker because the moon moves, honey. It's got to go all the way around 28 days, right? Boom, boom, boom. But here's Mars, okay? Mars is in Cancer too. You see that? And so Mars being in Cancer, it says, gives an independent spirit and some inclination to rebel against rules and regulations. Okay? You may suffer at times at the hands of superior and perhaps experience some injustice, unfairness. You see, you may be troubled. This is that energy that's clashing with that moon. So, the moon is the shadow. And you tie that into the same sign that we're dealing with, and you trying to tell me your emotions is not going to be up or flaring or in some shape, form, or fashion, you're going to be triggered. And Cancer is known for the sin. So you're going to be more into sinning during this aspect of things, right? Because your emotions is running fiery with that aggression with the Mars, right? So this is why I brought this up, so you can kind of see how the planetary alignment also plays a part in the way you feel in these moon phases. Hey, Ann, I see y'all coming in, family. I see y'all. And so this is why I wanted to bring this to you guys, because this will pull you back into your shadow self where you may not be functioning in your higher self. You may be, vibrating lower at this time because of that energy pulling you down, pulling you in, right? Because of your emotions, tapping into those three things that trigger you that you haven't healed from, right? And we wonder why. This is why. The planetary alignment, the things that are happening in the cosmos, has that energy force that is on humanity. And that's why we see all the chaos sometimes. And we do feel it in reference of a collective, because that's the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is also in reference of what? A lot of people lusting after each other, having a lot of sexual assaults and things like that. But not only that, that's about humanity. It's about, Aquarius is about a group. It's not about an individual. Okay? Because the Aquarian, as we know, is those that lust at but also with Aquarius, they are the humanitarians. They are very intelligent. That's why we're seeing a lot with the artificial intelligence, which intelligence goes back to what? Technology. Aquarius is about technology. So you may feel emotional around technical things right now. You may feel emotional, and we may see things that make us emotional, that pull on our heartstrings with humanitarian things. I mean, human life, put it like that. And for us to become the humanitarian at this time, to be able to help others. And that goes back to those fires and things like that that we're seeing right now when we're, wanting to help others, right? It's all about us helping each other. But this all goes back to your emotions, and this happens because of what? The planetary alignment. You see? So we can't always just go by what you see in reference of what they show us. Well, this is the actual map. This is how it looks when I pull the actual map for today and where we lie. See, it gives the date. I put in New York, but it gives the coordinates of New York, and it gives the date and the time. And this is where it lies in the true sidereal, what's in the planetarium sky. Okay? Right. So this new moon and the full moon, we know the full moon is going to bring up a lot of darkness, right? But it's also, you got to remember it's duality even in the moons, right? Even in the moon phases. It's duality to everything, family. So we also have on here, they talk about the lunar eclipses and the solar eclipses, right? Where the lunar eclipses make you feel a certain way. The lunar eclipses is moon. So it's going to be where you're going to have to confront those hidden fears during that time. Also your shadow self. Okay. And then the solar eclipses is all about the sun. So that's highlighting, right? The light, right? Where you have new awakening to your new perceptives, new perceptions, new beginnings, right? But also these solar eclipse, that's why they tell you during the solar eclipse times, you have a heighten of emotions, and even during the lunar eclipses, right? So I say all this to say, pay attention to these different phases, right? Pay attention in how you truly feel. Okay, the new moon they have on here, it says in a nutshell, right? Rebirths and new beginnings, urges to surrender to the old alignment of your soulful desires. I like the way they say that. They say as the moon grows, creative energy surges and your intuition guides courageous decisions and manifesting dreams and desires. Yes, a lot of us always want to do our rituals around the moon phases because that is the most potent time. It's the peak, right, of all that energy. Okay. And that energy is based on where it lies. And I just showed you, hey, Tantalus, I didn't see you come in, sis. And that energy lies in reference of that star, that zodiac, right? That it is in. And you go back like the gibbous waxing, it's transformation. We have all these phases that are laid out. The first quarter they have here on here, the first quarter and the last quarter phases ignites action and reflection. Now, the first thing I would think about with that is the first quarter. The first quarter goes back to things that can bring you back to your youth. Okay. You'll start having those triggering thoughts as well in reference of that, right? Because the first quarter is all about, also you may have major creativity, okay, that may start happening during those times. You may start feeling like, okay, the first quarter, it may ignite action, like it says here, right? And for the first quarter, I feel like, right? But I feel like it may be a time also where you have to make like some type of decisions as well during that time, right? It's like you on the go. It's time to get it in. That's what that energy is there, even in the wheel, right? So that's how you feel. You know what I'm saying? With the new moon. The new moon is all about different things, family. That new moon energy is not just about the rebirth and beginnings, okay? The new moon gives you, yes, things being birthed, but it's also aggressive energy as well. So you may have that fiery energy that you feel, getting started. It talks about, urging to surrender to the old, right? For your soulful desires. That's because you're aggressively trying to go after whatever it is. So you do those rituals and you want to usher in the things for your future, right? And your desires, right? So that is true. But it's also a time that you have to be very mindful of deceptiveness. Okay. You have to be very mindful of things that, you may not pay attention to. secrets and things like that happening during that time as well, because it's very strong moon energy. Okay. And then we move into that last quarter, what they was talking about. I talked a little bit about the first quarter, but the last quarter, and I'm just jumping around the different phases and how it, makes you feel and makes me feel. But I know for a fact that the last quarter is a time, it's in Mars. Okay, we have to be very careful with the last quarter, right? They say here with the last quarter, on this little link that we have here, is that as the energy continues to slow, we arrive back at the balance point. Use this to forgive anything you need to. All right. So, yes, that could be true. But the way that we learn it is in reference of, life interventions and things like that you need before you actually be at your demise, in reference of the last quarter, right? So that's the last quarter is mainly like in reference of things that can take you up out of here, family. So you have to be very mindful, right? The last quarter you should be focusing on, or you may have things that come up around your health, around your family. Okay, these are the things that you want to pay attention to, things that make you very uncomfortable, maybe foreign type things. Foreign, when we say foreign, what do we mean? We mean things that you've never experienced before happening during that time. So pay attention to these phases and how they make you feel. If you think about it and you think back about some of the times that you've had things happen, think about these phases being around those, especially, that's why we keep up with this as spiritualists, okay? And as spiritual beings, you should as well. This year we have 12 moons, okay? They show it right here, 12 new moons, 12 full moons, which comes down to the number 24, which is umbrella energy, right? And that's supposed to be, us having great strength to get through all them dang on moons, okay? And all the deception, and, things that's happening around the moons. 2 lunar eclipse and 2 solar eclipse, and 1 seasonal black moon. Very potent moon. So we should know these. This is things that you should have on your calendar. You should be keeping it in the tuck, okay? And this is when you should be, creating and doing everything you so desire. Now, moving into the full moon. Now here it says full moon is celebrates accomplishments. I see that all the time on things online and stuff like that, right? They have the full moon here, the peak of a cycle. It's truly a peak of a cycle, okay? It's truly, the full moon is truly about you releasing some things, banishing some things, right? The full moon is truly about transformation as well, but it's also about you growing in some shape, form, or fashion, because it's the peak of the cycle. When you come to the peak, that's the head, right? So think of it that way. It's for you to put some things into alignment for yourself in reference of having good health, good fortune, releasing the old, letting go of things, releasing and reassessing, right? Reevaluating. All the re's go in the full moon. I've been telling y'all this for years, but how does it make you feel? Well, it depends on what sign it's in, right? This last full moon we had, it was in Cancer, right? And honey, it was raging with emotions for some of us, right? Hey, Sharon. And so this shadow work sessions is for you to really think about how your shadow self stands up and peeps out, right? And gets triggered during these phases. I've seen maybe over 4 different readers online that I will, pay attention to and watch, right? They were all in their feelings, honey. They were all in their feelings, okay? And they were going off, okay? Going off. I said, oh yeah. Full moon is in effect. Okay? Because their shadow was like, what? We here, standing up. We cussing everybody out. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being in their higher self, or balancing the two and allowing them to be able to express themselves without having to scream, shout, cuss, you know what I'm saying, come out of their character, versus them trying to stay balanced because they know it's a time that their emotions is going to run high. So I want you to be mindful of this too. You see, that's why I'm bringing this to you so you can understand and understand how these moon phases will affect you. It's not just a time that the moon is just in a phase and it doesn't phase you. No, it phases you. You are the moon, the sun, the stars, right? So this is why we have to talk about how this affects our feelings, how this affects our thoughts. You see, Gemini moons make you think things through, make your communication may be a little more prone, or may not be a lot of communication during that time, or the communication may be a little faulty. And maybe there'll be times that during that Gemini time I was telling you about, the shadow part of that is you confessing to everything that you need to confess to. Okay, you know, you working with your internal vibrations, because that goes back to our universal laws. Everything goes back to that, right? So pay attention, put these moon phases together with your universal laws that come with those signs, those zodiac signs, okay? And really think them through, okay? Really think that time through and watch how you respond, how you act, what comes at you during those times, what's happening in the external of what you're going through in life, right? Because people don't know, family. Everybody ain't on a spiritual journey. And some people that's on the spiritual journey don't even know how to react to it because they ain't work with their shadow either. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be mindful as a spiritualist, as a spiritual being, as a human experience here, right, on this planet. It is your duty to balance and embrace your shadow. Yes, utilize, and I taught you guys this also in shadow work class, utilize your shadow as your protection. That's when that rage need to come out, right? When you got to protect you and your family, your children or whatever. That's when that shadow should be used, right? Because that's but you should be able to know how to use it and handle it still with integrity. Not saying blow your gasket. Okay. But what I am saying is be able to protect yourself, right? Physically and spiritually, right? So we talked about the new moon. We talked about the full moon, ushering in love and all the things that you want, money, transforming yourself, right? Releasing things to be able to get those in, right? We talked about the first quarter. We talked about the last quarter. The last quarter is definitely, like I said, you want to tap into that last quarter actually is a quarter too that can help you with spiritual growth. So you want to work with your ladder, you want to work with the rims that you're on in your ladder, in your wheel, in your numerology of whatever it is that I've probably given some of you, right, about your wheel, about your spiritual astrology, who you truly are. I talk the true sidereal all the time. Some of you hopefully have went on and checked out who you truly are. Some of you are still the same signs, okay? So you know who you are truly, right? But these moons are definitely going to affect fertility too. See, one thing about it, two things for certain, some of these moons make you have some babies come out because that's when the portal is wide open. And the answer is like, okay, so this person reincarnating right now, boom, we're going to give it to her. She up there doing all this and doing all that. Okay, that womb is open and ready to receive. You see? So fertility come through the last quarter. Let me see, the gibbous waxing. Fertility comes through on a lot, family. Okay, so you better be cautious. Okay, looks like those are the two that is coming through very strongly on. And listen, if you don't pay attention, you be somewhere talking about you pregnant again. Okay. But so yeah, family. So that's the full moon in reference of what I wanted to tell you about with the full moon is definitely you being able to release, okay, and transform yourself into a new perception of how to get to your higher self, right? How to usher in the things that you want as well, right? But you're not. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Those things aren't gonna happen until you are walking in your own, you walking by the divine, right? You have to be doing things and operating out of integrity for those things to be ushered into you. It's not gonna just happen. Remember, I tell you guys, you can't just flip on a candle and think you're gonna manifest things in your life and then you go and do some things that don't serve your highest good and that bring you lower in your vibrations and in your frequency. See, because you have to be continuously trying to heighten your frequency, right? And we know how those things go during these moons. This is what it affects, how you vibrate. And so this is why you have to be mindful during these moon phases. You know, do your meditations, get into prayer, do your repentance, right? Work with your ancestors, burn your ancestor money, sit with your ancestors, put out your offerings. All these things, family, you should be doing during the moon. Do whatever rituals with your ancestors, sit with your ancestors, however you want to spin it, okay? But all these things contribute to you having the ancestors help you out with your feelings, with your emotions, with your thoughts, right? Because a lot of us, we sometimes can't control our emotions because it doesn't feel good. During some of these moon phases, this is going to get very strong for you, even in your money. The crescent waning, that energy is very strong with Phobos energy around your finances during that time. On here, what does it say? The crescent, well, it talks about the crescent waxing. Yeah, the crescent waxing, it says here the crescent waxing is a surge of creative courses and a fresh momentum. Yeah, rapid transformation. Yeah, I can see that. But it's also financial abundance and you know, prosperity and things like that come with the waxing because you're increasing. You're increasing. So you need to be increasing what you do during that time as well. Now, I like the way they say this: feel the intense desire to break free from limitations. Yes. And addictions. This is a time for you to pursue new opportunities, sense your intuition guiding you towards making courageous decisions and unexpected events, definitely, okay, that'll nudge you towards your desires. The first quarter they have here about taking action. We talked about that, right? Yeah. But also, like I told you, it'll bring up things from your past. We talked about the full moon, very much so, right? The full moon can give you that pink moment of inner wisdom because you're going within a lot, right? The full moon is definitely energy that it goes into a lot, family. It goes into, full moon. It may make you feel a certain way around your career as well. Maybe have some things happen around your career. And the full moon deals with water. Okay, that's what we're taught in reference of the full moon. So you want to do some things with water. Okay. The waning gibbous. Okay, release cycle. The waning gibbous is about banishing things, unblocking negative energy, right? It may make you feel like maybe you want to remove yourself out of being in a stagnant situation. This is what it's trying to tell you here about beckoning to surrender what no longer serves your soul evolution. Yeah, it's just another way of saying it. But it's also about you getting rid of things that no longer serve you as well. We've done a lot of different rituals in my spiritual family. For those who may not be in my spiritual family, we've done rituals around taking your power back. You see, banishing and releasing the things that no longer work for you. A lot of these things happen in reference of the gibbous waning. This is a good time to do that. The gibbous waning is definitely a time where you want to be helpful to other people as well. So paying it forward is a good time to do that, and releasing, but also paying it forward, because it's also about the realm of angels on that segment of the moon phase. So you want to definitely do things that can help you. I'm sorry, this the moon. I mean, the gibbous, that's the gibbous waxing. I mean, the gibbous waning is also about spiritual growth. That's what, and knowledge. So yeah, so this, yeah, and it says it here. It's cosmic detox where you shed the skin of outdated patterns, beliefs, relationships, and no longer resonates with your highest truth. Yes. So letting go. And this is helping you with your spiritual growth. So it's things here that you need to do. Let go of toxic relationships that drain your energy, strife your growth, or stifle your growth. Release the emotional charge attached to past trauma, allowing you to heal and move forward. Purge any self-sabotaging patterns, making space for new empowering habits. Now, during the gibbous waning, how do you feel? The gibbous waning is that time when you coming down, you feel, things may be starting to settle on you. You may be feeling like there's some things that you want to change. The gibbous waning is that time where you should be trying to remove that stagnant energy, things that don't serve your highest good. So really pay attention to the times that these phases are in, family. It really is truthful, okay, in reference of what is happening, okay. The gibbous waning is definitely about that spiritual growth and knowledge, okay. Selfless service, yeah. So doing things for self. Yeah, I was giving y'all to give this waxing earlier, where you should be paying it forward during that time, all right, and helping others, okay. Be helpful to someone else so someone else can be helpful to you. And during that gibbous waxing, which is time is increasing, the angels are coming in to help you as well during that gibbous waxing. I can say that as a testimony, okay? All right. Straight fight for you, okay? So the gibbous waxing, you work with the angels, you do something to pay it forward with your ancestors and the archangels, if that's what you work with as well. And helping others will also be a form of good karma to help you. All right, that's the gibbous waxing. The gibbous waning is about letting go, doing these things right here, toxic situations, regaining spiritual knowledge, things that's going to help you grow spiritually. These are the things, okay? Purging all the old patterns and things like that, habits and addictions, things of that sort. Let it go, right? Yeah. So we talked about the last quarter and how that makes you feel. Definitely the reads go into that. Yeah, you can look at it as being the reads as well. But I say the full moon is definitely that. But see, the full moon actually is, your south. So it's like your last quarter is you going out of here, right? So, yeah, it's be time for you to reevaluate and stuff, but you should be doing that prior. You see, you should be doing that prior. Okay. So that's why I say sometimes on these websites, they have it, different than what we're taught spiritually, right? But I do want to show you guys this so you'll kind of be able to have some aspect of it, because if you Google something, this is what's going to come up. So I want to tell you in reference of what it is showing. Some things are still correct, but there's some added things that, spiritually the ancestors it brings through to us. Okay. And everybody is going to feel different. Everybody is going to feel different. Some people do feel the same. Like, I can talk to some of my spiritual family and they say they feel drained at the same time too, right? At the full moon. And a lot of us who are tapping into our spiritual gifts, you can tell when your gifts are heightened too. You're getting that spiritual upgrade. You're getting them downloads. You're getting that information. Your ancestors speaking to you. You're doing that candle magic and you seeing things and things working and you scrying. All these things happen around the moon phases to a T. You know what I'm saying? And I could tell you from experience. Okay. So take heed to how you feel during these times, family. Please. And look at the phases. Even if you don't know the moon phase, look on your phone to see when it is, because we're in one all the time. Okay? The moon phases go round like a cycle, like a wheel. Yeah. So pay attention to it. That's why I brought it to you, because guess what? It's going to make you function out of your shadow self. You understand? It's going to trigger those hidden, suppressed, deep wounds, the trauma and the drama you've been through. can be triggered easily with this moon phases, baby. So you must pay attention, because if not, you may be stuck in a situation where you're trying to figure out how to get out of it. But if you would have been prepared, then you would have been able to work your way through it. Okay. They put the dark moon here. That goes back to that black moon, where some of it may bring in that dark night of the soul for you to confront your fears, your doubts, your uncertainties. These are all about the seeds of transformation for you, because when you walk in that dark night of the soul, honey, yes, I've had it many times. Okay, just coming up out of one. Okay, you have to reassess. You have to acknowledge the things that you're going through. You have to confront your fears and your doubts and your uncertainties, because that's what's going to flare up. You're going to be uncertain. You're going to be doubting yourself. You're going to be doubting your spiritual abilities, and you're going to be doubting your ancestors, when in actuality, you need to have faith over fear and learn, because they're going to teach you, okay, quickly. So that's all about the seed of transformation when it goes with that. Now, the lunar eclipse and the shadow work. I love this. This is why I really pulled up this site, because I like the way they had this listed out, right? Because this is what we do, right? So the lunar is the moon, right? The lunar eclipse, the moon eclipse, right, is a powerful event that stirs up your deep emotions, hidden patterns. It's time to do our shadow work. That's why I did the full moon in Gemini and Cancer messages very strongly this time on my channel, because that was a moon where we should be doing our shadow work. I know I did mine. I went back and looked at some of my own shadow work videos. Okay. But the shadow self is a time to confront and integrate the shadow self, parts of ourselves that are suppressed, family, hidden. Okay. Emotional release. It's time to release karmic clearing. Okay, where you're clearing the karma. Time to release those old patterns, those addictions, the energies that you picked up from other people. Because sometimes it's not us. I had to learn that. You be thinking, why am I doing that? Why am I, and it's somebody else you done been around or maybe even tapped into for some of my spiritualists here. And you need to shed that. That is that time. You need to be getting that up off of you during the moon phases, and especially during the lunar eclipse, but this is a good time. But the lunar eclipse is also a time to let you know about reflection. You know what I'm saying? The lunar eclipse is in our studies. The lunar eclipse or the eclipse itself is about working with your deities, the good and the bad ones, right? Because you got to work with both of them anyway. You should be, especially for protection spiritually, right? And so this makes you deep dive and reference a reflection on your emotions, to identify your shadow and release what no longer serves your family, and to practice self-compassion. That's the main one right there, family, to be gentle to yourself while you work through all of these hard things, because it ain't easy. I'm not telling you shadow work is easy, because it's not. And half of the time, people don't want to do it. I told y'all 100 times before, I had all my shadow work videos up on YouTube for 4 years and hardly no views on them. But then whenever I took them off, people started emailing me and asking me about the shadow work videos. I said that my Patreonians get those only now, because all that hard work. I didn't even know I had all of them. I didn't even know I had over 100 videos. But that was because those was the times I was going through things. I did videos for each. Okay. So I share with you my same journey. I'm flawed just as well, but I'm working through my flaws with you. And I hope that you continue to work through yours with me as well. And so we'll be going through solar eclipses, family, that'll also take you through some things, right? And that's when you still should be through the lunar eclipses, the total eclipses, all them eclipses. Work with your ancestors and deities, good and bad. Okay, I say work with them through all the eclipses, okay? And if you want to, on your moon phases too. But definitely your ancestors throughout them all, okay? Because that's who's going to have your back. Those that you knew when they were here on this planet. And some of them you may not even know. Those are the unknown, right? But Yes, family. So this is what I wanted to bring to you. Okay. This I felt this article was really good. And especially these little things right here they put up. I had to get my glasses out tonight to see that, right? But and then this also discussed the moon phases. It was another website I was gonna just show y'all about, but it's pretty much giving the same thing. Set your intentions, write your things down, meditate on your new goals and your dreams, create them vision boards as we did on the new moon, right? Coming into the new year. We did that. And a lot of us, some things are already popping up. Okay. Crescent waxing, setting your intentions, all these things we discussed, right? The first quarter, overcoming the challenges. Yes, overcoming those challenges of what you may have went through in your childhood, youth. You want to be able to get through those things so you can make informed decisions, be able to decision making, get through those obstacles, have the strength and determination, family. Okay, so these are just the things. The Gibbons it talk about refining and adjusting. The full moon, manifesting and celebration, which is, yeah, but it's also about releasing. They don't never put that on there with the full moon. I don't know why, but they don't. The Gibbons gratitude and reflection. The last quarter, they put it on the last quarter of releasing and letting go, which is true too. But they should have that on the full moon also. And then the waning, they got rest and introspection. Okay. And then it just tells you how to work with it spiritually here. I'm going to put these links underneath the box. So you guys will have all of these links to the messages and what we talked about tonight. And I just wanted to show you guys, the cosmos and where the moon and Mars is laying at right now and how it's affecting your emotions with it being in Cancer for both of them. And they're both very strong elements, you see. Very strong elements that the moon is in Cancer, family, and Mars. Yes. Now, when they say retrograde, that's the time to tap in. Me and the spiritual family was talking about that too, right? Because remember, it's the opposite. See, they always try to make it seem like the retrogrades is bad for us, but really the retrogrades is the time that's helping us. So remember that too, I have to give you the same knowledge that I'm taught as well, as much as I can. And so this is what I wanted you to understand and get a full visual of where the moon lies, okay? Where the moon lies, right, in that Cancer, and where the Mars also is lying, okay? So yes, family, this is definitely what I wanted you to see. Track your moon phases, set your intentions with each phase, perform your rituals, reflect and adjust, and practice self-care. And I'm going to put this link underneath the box of this shadow work sessions today that we did about our moon phases and how it affects us emotionally, mentally, even physically. Sometimes you can't even get out of bed when certain moon phases come around, family. Okay? That's because of that energy. Remember, we are energy. Our energy don't die. It's eternal. And the moon and the planetary alignment don't either. So you won't feel it. Some shape, form, or fashion, and externally and internally. You see? So take heed, family. Take heed, okay? Let's see what y'all talking about in the chat. Right. That was during the banishing phase you was talking about. That's right, Ebony. Hello. I will definitely review this video over again several times. Yes, love. And then I'm gonna have the links underneath here. You go back to this video, go to the links, so you can see everything that I'm just showing you on the other pages, okay? And then you understand as well in reference of where that moon lies in that sign, like I showed you in the planetary alignment of where it is. You can see all them planets and them stars around it. But you got to pay attention to where it's lying. That's what's going to give you the energy behind it, you see? So not only what I discussed for each one, but what is the sign that how it, affects it. If it's a water, it's going to be emotional moon for you. You're welcome, love. If it's a air sign that it's in, it's going to be a very mental taxing time, right? Or it may heighten your ability to think through some things and have clarity. It just all depends, So, but this is what you're needing to know to pay attention, though. so you can know thyself. See, it's all about knowing thyself, knowing the shadow and how to balance it and embracing it, not to run from it. A lot of people run from their shadow because they don't want to face it. They don't want to face their hidden truths. They don't want to face their fears. They don't want to face the darkness. But here we face both the darkness and the light. Just like I told you, we work with both of our ancestors, the good and the bad, because we are just that too, the good and the bad, right? The divine feminine, divine masculine, right? Our higher self and our lower self. We are all of that. We are whole. Okay. So that is our shadow work sessions around the moon phases and how it affects us. And now we have to be accountable for how we feel around these phases and know how to function around it. You know, this, like me, I know it's a water moon. I know I'm gonna be all in my feelings. I know I'm gonna be drained. I know I'm gonna feel like some type of way. I better give me plenty of rest, plenty of sleep, and it's gonna put me down anyway. It's gonna mess with my sleeping habits. Sometimes you ain't gonna be able to sleep all night during a full moon or a new moon energy. That energy is so potent. You see, you're gonna be up all night long sometimes, like me. You know, so that's, you welcome, Sharon. You welcome, love. Right timing for my first time here. I love the never-ending knowledge. Certainly helpful. Thanks, sis. You're welcome, and yes, and welcome, and welcome, sis. I'm so happy to have you here. And as I tell everybody in the spiritual family, because Ann is one of my sisters in my spiritual family that's done joined me over here on my Patreon. Please go back to the shadow work collections. Go to the collections, which is the library that's here. And on the library, you can find all of the videos for the shadow work sessions. All you have to do is type it in and type in how you feel. Stressed, anxiety, depression. Just type it in the field that says search under the shadow work sessions library, and a video will pop right up for you. I have over 100 videos just like this. And I've tried to move all of my material here only in reference to shadow work, because y'all gonna take heed to it and y'all gonna work with it just like me. I still use my own shadow work videos because healing is the everlasting process. You never just heal, you know? So I love you, and I'm glad that you're here. Okay, great lesson tonight. Great lesson, right? You are so welcome, coffee, and I'm so glad you're here. Okay, I was drinking my coffee this morning, honey. Happy as all get out. Okay. But yes, very helpful lessons. I hope so, family. And that's why I do these for us, right? To get through. And it's nothing to be upset about in reference of being in a lower vibration. It's about you being prepared and understanding how to come out of that. Because see, that's what it's really about. You know, don't sit in your shadow, balance your shadow. That's just like, we talk about sometimes even in the messages, you say, well, I've been on the path, I've been trying to do right, but I got that attached to something that I may have been addicted to, and I had a relapse. That's okay. That's all right. It's okay. We all gonna have those. Don't be hard on yourself, but you gotta come out of that and get back right and take another step forward again. See, that's about embracing that shadow, because the higher self picks up the lower self and moves it into those higher vibrations, the things that you can do to raise your vibration. Get in some water, get you a spiritual bath when you get to feeling bad. That's my number one task. I go get in water. See, so these are the things, right? These are the things. So, family, this is our message: forever evolving. Right. We have to, because if you don't, you might as well be dead if you don't want to grow, right? So we must continue to ascend and grow as a spiritual family and here together. We must do it, okay? And that is being accountable for our shadow self and not being apologetic for it either. Embracing it, because sometimes you got to pop up. And sometimes you got to be, walk in your integrity, but That's that protection. That's that shell, you see? So I just want you guys to understand that it's okay to be who you truly are authentically, regardless, right? Of what happens, relapsing, moving, doing whatever, popping off, whatever you got to do. But get back balance and get back to your higher self, because that's what's going to help you ascend. Okay? Because even the ones that may love and light you all day and act like they ain't got nothing going on wrong, honey, them be the main ones that sitting in their shadow and don't know how to come out of it. Okay? All right. Thank you. I will for sure. Okay, sis. Okay. Love you too. Queen. Thanks, Key. I have to sit back, relax. My brain is overload. Okay. Now you know how to get yourself back right. Do your meditation. Bring yourself back. Breathe. Right? Do your breathing. I'm gonna do and that's in shadow work sessions, breathing. Go to brain overload or something like that on there. It's something in there for that. It's something over there for that. Meditations or something, Yeah. We got a lot of shadow work videos, family. Utilize that stuff that's over there in the library. Okay. Hey Christy, you late. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You get the last happy birthday time period on the 1 hour where I'm going out of here, because you're going to have to rewind it back, sis. But I know I didn't think you was going to come. I thought you was doing your, partying. What is it? Feliz Clupa? What? I can't forget. Let me look it up, because I got to sing it in Spanish for what is it? Feliz. What's the song? Feliz Cumpleaños, Feliz Cumpleaños, Feliz Cumpleaños, and another 100 years. I think that's how you say it. I had to look it up for the Spanish. I feel like my inner child been busting out this full moon. Yes, and that's that Cancer energy too. Okay. So yes, okay. She was quiet, but then she wants to talk now for sure. That is hilarious. Yeah, happy birthday to Chrissy. No party. I just came back from a couple of massage. Love it. Yes. Get it in, sis. Love that. Yes. Give Chrissy happy birthdays up in here. Hey, young girls. It's okay you late, hon. You know to rewind it back. It's Chrissy's birthday. Yeah, it's Chrissy's birthday, family. Give her that love. Chrissy, you're getting all the love up in here. I love you, sis. Happy birthday. May you have many more, and may your will be expanded in your lifespan. All right? Yeah. Much love to you. I love you. I'm glad that you're here. You always support. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get emotional because y'all know I'll be at a drop of a dime. I'll be crying somewhere over somebody's birthday. You know what I'm saying? You know how your girl is. But anywho, we getting up out of here. I'm getting hot, family. So I'm up out of here. But I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Check this video out if you need to know more about your moon phases, okay, and how they make you feel. Rewind it back for those coming in late. I'll see you guys soon. Peace. Kaziah's up out of here. Peace, peace, peace.